peaceful, relaxed. Go into the silence and bring the silence in presence. Ah. This state of presence is organized, structured, planned. And now it expands everywhere. Golden light. Gi. Abegi. Silence. Abegi. Void. Abegi. Deep breath and come back here. Oh, let's play again with images. Fourth letter. A door. I'm not telling you letter. Oh, okay, D. Letter is D. Vowel is a small a. But I'm not telling you the state of being. I want you to find it. That's one of the most abstract of them all. Some of you will just get it obvious. It's a door. If you have the entire house and the field outside, you don't get it. Door. Just door. Door. And you need to go get the feeling of it. Eyes open or closed, like you're comfortable, go get door. So, what's door? Open your eyes. Okay. Anyone who has an idea how they could somewhat name the experience?
Portal.
Portal.
Moving through the next level.
Moving through.
Solid.
Solid. Exactly. The frame aspect. Gateway. The entire passing into. So the D is like the structured B with a going through, a level. This is where levels start to exist. Before that, there's no dimension, D dimension. Door is what allows you to go through. Going through means from one place to another, means distance, means space, means time. It's the entire aspect of shape going through. And this is the mind-boggling thing about door. It's nothing. If you have something, it's not a door, it's a wall. A door is defined by the absence of anything, but you still use it. You go through it. Okay? It's not a closed door, it's an open. Okay? Doorway. Okay? So it's nothing, it's void. Vacuity. And it is the experience of going beyond, or from the void going into shape. This is where dimension exists. Before that, there were no dimensions. The Gi is just pure expansion. And from this pure expansion, vibration started to exist, and then you have dimensions. Okay? So you have the silence of vacuity. It is present. And then Be, there's an intellect, because of the A, it's wisdom. There's a comprehension of high thought of I'll organize things. It'll be structured and solid and keep me safe. And the universe is the house of God. And this idea of structuring the original power just went everywhere. Wham! Gi! And expanded. And as it expanded, vibrations start to happen. And this vibration creates shape. This energy took form. D. Da. Da is the form. It's just there. Ah. Da. Okay? When you want to say something is obvious, da. You know? Da. So go ahead. Da. Da. Vocalize, everyone. Da. Let it fall. Da. Inside. Inside. Feel the shape. Feel the concept of going through. Feel the dimensional aspect. Good. Come back here. Ha! Hey! Ho! Ha! The hota. Or the he. Or the eki, depending on H. Small E. It's a. Hey. Hey. The next one is hey. I'm gonna deliver the image. Window. Window. There's nothing else. Window. What is the feeling, the emotion of window? Okay, this one is not obvious. The window is a point of view. Okay? The window is a point of view, and then the point of view, what you do with it, you express it. Okay? So this is why we have the H. Ha! He! Ho! Okay, in this case it's hey. You express knowledge. Hey. H is expression. A is the Dharma. Okay, so hey is the expression. The window is the point of view. And in a certain form, it has to do with the way you express yourself. Because the window in a house is the sense in your body. So it is the way you perceive things. And in the same way, the way you'll use them, or the way you will express what you perceive. It's the perception. It's not yet the perception. It's the fact that there's a point of view. It's an idea. There's nothing manifested, so it certainly is not looking at something. It's just looking, but there's nothing yet to look at. Only after letter 12, 13, and 14 we'll have stuff to observe. In letter 16 and 17 you'll have observing. Now we're not at observing. It's the fact that there is a point of view. Okay? And you will express it. And 5 is also the pentagram. Okay? The pentagram of moving natural forces. What are natural forces? Well, let's start with earth, fire, heavens, water, and air. 5 elements in interaction. Okay? So it's acting. It's forces in motion. Nothing can be in motion before it had form. So, vacuity, from it comes the presence of organized expansion taking form, and now these shapes start to interact, move. Okay? Abegidahe. Okay? Now, why is a point of view setting forces in motion? I don't understand. From the human, when you're observing, you are affected. From the point of view of God, when you are observing, you are creating a thing. Okay? When you have a point of view as divine, you make the universe to become your point of view. When you have a point of view as a human, you are there and you're observing the already manifested so you can understand it. Put yourself in a holy state of being, observe something, it will become what you want it to be. This is how we create. Okay? Understand? Why? The point of view, the window of God, is what sets everything else in motion. Okay? So we have void, is being present, structured and organized so it can bang. Begi is big bang. And then the shapes will organize. The same way that the planets will form and the particles will start to have various shapes because of the da of going through. The going through means distance, means place, means space, moving. And what moves? The shapes, the D is shape, and it will move. Okay? Observing or having a point of view will set forces in motion. Okay? The Sanskrit word deha, D form. Deha means body. Okay? D is form. A is the understanding of it, or the idea of it. The idea that I have of my form, I express it and it's there. Ha. H, expression. A, presence. Deha is what I express of the idea of what I am, I look like. Deha is the form that took presence and it became. Okay, does it make sense? Deha means body. It explains all the healing mantras with Deha in it. The Durga Bija mantra is Dim. D-H-I-M. We say Dim. In English, you write D-H-E-E-M. This is of goddess Durga, Dim. Which is not your Bija mantra, Durga. And there is Dum, Dum. Okay, it's not the same thing. Dim summons the energy of Divine Mother in your body. How come? Because it's D-H-I-M. D, the form. H, expression. I, the higher intention. M, energy. Dim. Okay? That's just to give you ideas of the applications of the letter D. Sixth letter. V. A. Va. The image of a hook. When you go fishing, you put the worm there. Okay, hook. It can be a big hook. Something to hold to. Okay, a hook or anchorage, an anchor. But a hook is the better thing. Letter is V. Its most obvious experience is Ba. Hook. So how does hook feel? What is the emotion of hook? Of a hook? Capture is good. Next. Stuck. Gathering. Snag. I'm gonna snag you. Pain. Good. That's an emotion related to the hook. There is suffering sometimes in the fact of this experience when it is forced upon you. Without judgment, hook is what brings together, holding on to. Okay? It is the sixth letter. So you have the lower triangle of human going up, the high triangle of divine coming down, and both triangles snap in. You got a 6-pointed star, unified. 6 is the unity. The gathering, the coming together, the holding on to. It is what allowed atoms and molecules, atoms to form bonds together at the atomic level and make them stick together. Okay? Before Va, we went up to He, the expression of the various types of particles after the Big Bang, but they were not creating molecules. They were not hanging on together. Va is coming together. But in the coming together and the holding on to, there's something wonderful called everything unity. Because Va, just go Va. Now forget the hook. Go in Va. 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 Feel it. Va. There's something universal. It's what is pulling the entire universe together. It is vast. Okay? Although it's holding on to, it's vast. Okay? There's a vastness there, where the different dimensions that appeared with D are now combined with V. So God and human and everything can be one.
That's cohesion.
We'll get to cohesion later. But there is cohesion. You know, wind, vayu, it's vast, but it's not just the vast, there's the you that brings the experience. Okay, vayu. Okay, so it's the vayu but in a stream because of the y instead of everything. So it's a stream of va. So it's vayu, it's wind. Okay, we'll get to y later on. Apsa, you need to learn P and S to understand apsa, water. And cohesion is sahbavin. It's saha, that, bavin. And the vi is this coherence that you're unified, but it's tangible in the end. So we'll get to that, sahabavin, cohesion. People are advanced and they want everything now and unsure. Yeah, we'll get to it. And I'm so happy because when I start to answer advanced wisdom to some guy, it's because you need to just let your mind settle on what we've just did. Okay? Give yourself a break. Abegi. Abegi, expansion. Abegi, coming in. Taking shape and working together. Daheva. Daheva. Dimension, expression, combining. Okay? It's becoming shapes and collaborating together. Okay? Multitude, or the concept of multiplicity, started with 5. 4 dimension was possible. 5, the various shapes could express themselves. So it's expression. Okay? Abegida heva. Abegida heva. Don't try to do all these letters now. Start with the void and just imagine the expansion and it's still holding on together. This Big Bang is still holding on together. The universe did not just fade away in infinity. It stayed and glowed in itself. Okay. Now, starting from now, if you don't follow everything, it doesn't matter. Okay? You have years to train this stuff. I'm just going to keep doing what I do so that your consciousness will be affected by the initiation. But as we move on, you won't be able to synthesize the 22 letters in one state of being. You won't do that tonight. Maybe tomorrow. I'm doubtful. Not yet. But some people might just say, makes so much sense. All right, God is in the world. Yes, sir. So triggering states of being is the key. Okay? But if you throw it yourself more than 3 states of being, you're going to override your ego. So don't do that. So as we advance, just take one state of being, that is the one, okay? And you name it abegi. Don't try to isolate the 3 parts of the Big Bang. Just go abegi, okay? It's that. And now the shapes that collaborated together, daheva. Now for zachet. 7th letter, z, such as zvala. The only letter that does not exist in the Sanskrit. It's za, boop, bloop. Now I'm going to give you 2 images, okay? Some say sword, some say weapon in general. Some will go up to say tool, but let's stay with weapon or a sword. But don't do gun, okay? Weapon. Za, what is weapon? What's the feeling? Now your ego will go through all the judgment of this suffering thing, of the imposing. At this point, there's still no one to use the weapon on. So, what is the feeling? There's nothing to destroy. There's nothing manifest yet. So, what could be destroyed? What? That is very good. You have the sword in hand. What do you feel? Okay, stop being under the blade, please. The sword. What is the feeling of having this sword? There's power. 7th, Kundalini. Spirituality. Okay, the holy blessed 7 is the Hebrew letter Zayin. We say Za and create a force, and it's this weapon.
I've heard Kundalini instruct me of that. Kundalini described as the life-giving sword, which is described as the spine, the sword that is never unsheathed.
Yeah.
Because it's contained in the spine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Same thing.
Yeah. That's it. So this idea of having a tool you can do something with. But if I told you shovel, you wouldn't have get the power aspect of using a tool, okay? You would think about what you do with it, okay? So sword or weapon is just, I have power. It's unused. We're not doing anything. We just have the power, okay? So far. You feel that? This power, this tool, it's power and tool. Because you have the primordial silence that is power but not tool. You know? It's immobile, not working. And at 7, it's you got the fact that you use it. Okay? Then 8th letter. It's H, little r, little e. Okay, so in black, H, little r, that's one letter. It's not the h of clear expression, is the h. The letter is called chet. Okay? It's not R, it's just h. It's a vibrated guttural back of the mouth type H. Okay? Okay? So it's like the little HR, and in blue, the E. He. Yeah. Is the R black? The little R is part of the single letter. It's like when we say Jorge. Okay? Jorge. Right? He. Come on, son. In the he. A hay. Lots of trees planted in a long row. How do you call this?
Forest.
Row.
I live in the desert.
What? One row of trees. They
Right.
The purpose or hedge?
hedge. Yeah, hedge. Yeah, the word is hedge. When you have when we plant a lot of trees, all equal, all similar, and they go in both directions infinitely. Yeah, over the head. And in this case, it's beyond the edge. Okay? So, go get it. Now, this one I'm not going to give you a clue because you have to first feel it and try it on your own. Okay? Allow yourself to be lost. It doesn't matter. What is the feeling of this hedge? This long, infinite row of the same thing. There's big, okay, somewhat.
I got protection from the elements.
There's protection from the elements. It's accurate because it's 4 of shape and 4 of shape in this way, and it blocks and interlocks. But we don't want to put this experience now. We want the pure. There's boundary. Yes, there's something boundary. There's connected. There's infinite. 8. There's continuous. Now that we have a tool, we are setting in place stuff. Okay? We realize projects. Okay? It's the concept of realizing projects. Not with expectations. We just go there and do it. Okay? It's the idea of now we have a tool, we can work on something. Now we're going to do stuff. Before that, before 8, before the he, there's no action. There's just this big wham, and stuff starts to appear and combine, and it becomes useful. And now you have a tool, and you're going to do stuff with it. Okay? You're going to realize projects. Okay? So 8 is the number of realization. So when we have the eightfold path, the infinity aspect of this hedge that it just goes forever and ever, the boundary, that says if you use a tool, you're going to dig and place boundaries so that the elements will be, yes, they will be encased. So now we can go into the aspect of D, 4, 4. You know, 1 square, that makes 8. It's combining the shapes to encase and build foundations. When we make the foundations of a home, you have the physical shapes out of wood but empty, and then you put matter in there, you stuck it, and then it realizes, it produces the project, and then you let it dry and take out the form, and you still have the project done, because we use tools to realize stuff, to accomplish. Okay? There's accomplishment also in that. And if you can't do it, like most people at first, you say another H. Okay? There's the fifth letter, H. And then you just try to make it a bit more. Okay? But don't, if you go too much into R, that's not it. Okay? That's the 20th letter. Lots of stuff, lots of intellectual stuff, but it's also felt. Okay, you get a feeling? Jerry, you're good?
Yes.
Sandy? Right? Vanessa, you're good? Taking notes? 3 times record? Okay.
Felt 50.
Yes, with 8, stuff can start to stand up. Okay. This is why we have tools. Okay? And there's another mathematic we can do there. We can say it's 4 plus 4. It's shape, holded by shape. Now you have the engineering structures that start to add here. Like taking 2 squares and combining them. You understand? But you can say it's 2 times 4. It's the idea of a structure of shape. Okay? At B, the idea of structure has no form. It's just the idea, I'm going to do stuff. I'm going to form stuff. But you didn't yet form anything. You multiply by 4, the shape. 2 times 4, you get realization. I've accomplished it by putting a form on the plan B. The B plan, I used it to shape the D. And you have G. Okay? You realize you accomplished something. And structures are starting to hold on. The entire idea of structure at B is not structured yet. It's the idea that I will do that. Okay? It's the idea of structure, but you don't have the manifested thing. But we still don't have objects there. We're still all in unmanifested matter. It's how the primordial energies combined to give you the intellectual tools to then go into the world and do it. Okay? Until the letter 12, there's nothing in the world. Okay? 9th letter. Repeat your name again. Georgia. Georgia. Like they say in Spanish. Regina. Georgina. Georgina. Okay. Georgia is beautiful. Georgina is like Ge. 9th. The letter T. Small e. T. Mud. Everything is mud. What do you feel? What is the pure thought behind the idea of mud?
Fresh.
What?
Fresh.
What about hot mud? There is a cohesion because of its slightly water singing up together. This is good. Next. Saturation.
Binding.
Hmm?
Binding.
There's binding.
Combining.
Combining. Okay. There's density. Density starts to appear with the 9th letter. Before the 9th letter, nothing was dense because nothing had been structured. So you have multiple planes of vibration at 4 dimension. You have levels of frequencies, but still you don't have density out of these frequencies. There's nothing to be dense. Now you have the mud, but it's unmanifested mud. It's intellectual mud. This is why it's not ta, it's te. Te. It's primordial matter. You feel the density and the mass, where before it was just stuff in pure thought being combined. A, B, G, Da, He, Va, Za, He, T. If you synchronize all that, you'll be always connected to the source, always having resource. So you can just go t. When it's the last letter, like abigidase vazachet, you don't say te. You mute the last letter. Okay. So t. Void, presence t. And then you have primordial matter. Nothing is manifested yet, but now you have matter that you can manifest with. Okay? It's not the M of water everywhere. This is energy substance. The Te is not even energy. It's not even manifested. It's the raw matter. It's the mind matter. It's now you have ideas to work with. You have tools, you have realization, you can combine stuff, you express it, you can make shapes. Abegidahe vazachet is the idea of the source of nothing now knows how to purely think. To think structure, to think moving into, expand, to think shape and passing in, to think expression, to think forces in motion, to think combining these previous ideas, to think as a tool to realize stuff. And now I have raw matter to work with. I can do file new and start to type, It's the idea that you have the software, you have the hardware, you have what it takes to do everything else. This is the original thing. Okay? Can you try that? Try that. Look at the board, each at your own pace. You will fix gently, not by force to want them all now. Gently take the first one. And until the state of beingness comes from the idea of a bull, the state of being present and everything comes from the don't go to the bit. Okay? Do your thing. Yeah, why not? Do it on your own pace. You take the first one. Softly. You have to be gentle on your nervous system because we've been packing so much yesterday evening and this morning. Now we have to start settling down. Okay, because we're going to have another rush tomorrow morning. Okay, so now we just get to the resting point. Okay, so first one, presence. Then, okay, be, house, be, gi. And you look at the board and you look at your notes, but try to just purely go, and when you get it, you go to the next one. You just practice that. One at a time. Take all the time you need. Then you start over and you accelerate, but only when you're done. That's me doing that. That's the state of being I did in the car Thursday morning. And Simon was doing like that. Until you're done, do what you want with your hands and keep them down. When you're done with the first time, put your 2 palms up. Okay? Until you're done, just you can put your hands down or whatever, but when you've done it at least once, put your palms up and you accelerate. A, B, G. And then you have them all. A, B, G, da, he, va, za, he. A, B, G, da, he, va, za, he. Okay? But go slowly. The slower you do it the first time, the more powerful it becomes. It's a question of patience and really synthesizing each step. But you felt so many emotions and states of beings in this morning. You're not going to have pure, powerful states. Don't wait for the power to come. When you get the idea of structure, okay, go to the other one. Okay? You will not feel this great blast of energy anymore. But you're going to feel consciousness and the substance, the mud, you're going to feel it. This raw matter, this raw state of being you can work with. Like argile. Slow down. Everyone slow down. Not that fast. Yeah. Okay, now I want you to stop wherever you were at. Stop. Initiation happened. Is it heavy? You feel the heaviness? Okay. This is the initiation. When I put myself in this state, you get your higher mind gets all these pure concept of original working freed from any judgment. You just get it. And now your soul and your mind is starting to understand creation and what is experienced by creators or the creator. The mud just like dripping like if you were mud, heavy, argile. I'm going to use this argile tomorrow to shape stuff. But now we take a break. We definitely need to just relax. The human is too dramatic about this at first. We just implicate ourselves so much, and thanks to that, the soul can come in and do its work. Like, cool. But the human just goes, whoa, like 9 states of being, one after the other? Yes. Okay? You do it and you relax. When you get used to it, and the pure mind of God is there. And if you stay there, you will never perish. You'll never run out of resource. Your mind will be always available. Even physically, it has an impact. Your neurons will regenerate. Your mind will reconstruct to adapt to the pure thought of God. And then you look at anything and start to understand it. Wonderful. But until you get there, relax. Now we'll do small, soft, happy faces. Relax. No explosions of joy, okay? Happy. Okay? It is normal to be overwhelmed. That's the goal of the thing. I put pressure on you so that it'll be easier. You're bodybuilding now and you're lifting more weight than you're used to, spirit-wise. Then you're going to go home and relax. The day is not over. We're just starting. But we're going to do soft, easy stuff. Okay? Cool. Today, 9 forces, 5 states of being. That's a pretty big load of work. So, you're going to have emotional practice and intellectual study. Okay? Intellectual study of that to remember by heart. And you will also separately do the emotional triggering of the states. Okay? And you're going to do both at the same time and then just reading them and trying to understand. So we can tell stories. From void of nothing, there was just consciousness. A presence. From which the structure expanded everywhere and went from the creator to the created. The dimension, doorway. The abyss is the. It just came. And where it set its eyes, stuff happened and forces in motion combined together, and now there were tools to realize something, so we have raw matter to work with. Right? This entire story is one state of being. It's too much for the human, so we go one step at a time. And when you can do the one state of being, everybody just goes, what? Say what? Okay? This is why when we meditate, we transcend. Because our human mind is not used to that. Now we're teaching your human how to not fight that. So you start to have transcendence in your meditation and you'll stay conscious. And you'll start to be aware of what goes on to other planes of consciousness. But you are training your human to endure this kind of pressure. From letter 10 to 22, it's so easy. The hardest part is the 9 first letters. That's the hardest. Because just it comes down crushing on you like a waterfall, like a mud fall. It just, okay, pure consciousness just taps in and rectifies everything you didn't understand of how it works. This is the mind of God. Next step, we go into the mind of the soul. This is divine. Next step is how the soul works. And the last one is human, or nature. When you can get all of that, you are the creator. Isn't it fun? So then you do the soft practice, happy faces. Everything is intention, everything is wisdom, everything is everywhere, and I feel it in experience and it exists. You're one. And I feel in my body and I accept in my body the soul that I am. You're one. You're one. Yo1. Softly accepting it. Now we're going to change from this to Yo1 just because it's easier. Okay, breathe. Let go of the structures, let go of the mind, let go of the intellect. There is Yo1, and we will vocalize it about 2-3 seconds per letter, okay? Breathe in. Feel your body. Relax. Breathe. Again, breathe in. And you feel the body. And it is part of the soul. Body and soul, same thing. Different experience, same thing. Softly in your mind, Yo1, 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 softly and slowly, slower in the way I do. Clear your mind now. Clear your mind. Pure, simple relaxation. Okay. Softly, gently, we'll take a break.